Today, we're embarking on a remarkable journey into the heart of the Andes as we unravel the captivating tale of the Aconcagua Boy. It's a story that's as awe-inspiring as the towering peaks that surround it. Before we dive into this incredible narrative, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our explorations. Now, let's step into the world of the Aconcagua Boy and discover the mysteries that lie beneath the surface. In 1985, hikers scaling Argentina's Aconcagua mountain encountered a horrible discovery: a 7-year-old boy, frozen in place for a long period of time. Archaeologists were informed and they conducted an excavation of the body. Subsequent studies indicated that the Aconcagua Boy had been sacrificed as part of an Incan ritual 500 years earlier and had been preserved naturally due to the mountain's cold and dry setting. Recently, a survey of the Aconcagua Boy's mitochondrial DNA has unveiled that he was a member of a population of native South Americans that was nearly eradicated following the Spanish conquest of the New World. A ritual of child sacrifice known as capicoca resulted in the demise of the Aconcagua Boy. The capicoca was the ritual sacrifices of young boys and girls in the Inca Empire. Those chosen to be sacrificed were seen as the most serene children in the empire, making them worthy of sacrifice. The most substantial requirement to be chosen for the sacrifice was to be a virgin. This alludes to the serenity and perfection of the children and infants picked to be tributed to the gods. For a year before the sacrifice, the children were fed the most prestigious diets. The diets revolved solely around maize and charqui, meat from a llama. Many parents felt sorrow when forced to give up their children to the sacrifice, but were forbidden to show grief during the event. Others felt the sacrifice was a great honor and even offered their children to the gods. These children faced their demise at the end of a long trek to the summits of the Andes, where they experienced blunt head trauma causing them to die, or they were buried alive. Each child was often buried with a variety of grave goods, as an offering to the gods. The funerary goods buried along the children depended on the importance of the shrine and sometimes even contained animals buried alongside the children. It is believed that he was killed by a blow to the head. Several mummies, linked to this ritual, have been found scattered throughout Inca territory, but the Aconcagua Boy stands out as one of the best preserved, as concluded by Antonio Salas, a human geneticist from the University of Santiago de Compostela in Spain. He died at an altitude of 5,300 meters, in one of the driest climates on Earth. This gave Salas hope that the mummy might still contain traces of DNA. Salas and his team were able to pull the complete mitochondrial genome, comprised of 37 maternal inherited genes, from one of the mummy's lungs. This was a smart move, noted Bastian Lamas, a geneticist from the University of Adelaide in Australia who studies South American populations from antiquity, as it minimized the risk of contamination. Lamas, who was not part of the study, pointed out that the mummy had not been handled by any human since its discovery, thus reducing the possibility of contamination by people who had been working on it. To ensure that his team did not introduce any of their own DNA into the find, Salas genotyped every member of the research team. When Salas examined the mitochondrial DNA of the Aconcagua Boy, it revealed a genome that was distinct from anything Salas had previously seen. The boy's pattern of genetic variations belonged to a population called C1b, which dates back to the earliest Paleo-Indian settlements more than 18,000 years ago. C1b is composed of many distinct subgroups, each of which had become isolated from one another due to geographic spread and developed their own unique traits. However, the Aconcagua Boy's genome did not fit into any of them. Instead, he was part of a previously unidentified group of native South Americans, which Salas and his team have named C1b and which they believe originated in the Andes about 14,000 years ago. They have published their findings in the journal Scientific Reports. In his search through both ancient and modern genetic databases, Salas identified 4 people who appeared to belong to the C1b group. Out of these 4, 3 are present-day individuals from Peru and Bolivia, while the 4th sample came from a person from the Wari Empire. This implies that C1b is quite rare today. Nonetheless, the discovery of 2 ancient DNA samples of this type suggests that it may have been more commonplace in the past. According to Andrés Moreno Estrada, a population geneticist from Mexico's National Laboratory of Genomics for Biodiversity in Irapuato who was not involved in the study, if you sample just 1 or 2 individuals, what are the chances that you pick the rare guy? He says. Most likely, you're picking the common guy. Lamas was not taken aback that a likely customary pre-Columbian genetic group almost vanished after the Spanish showed up. Up to 90% of native South Americans died very quickly after the conquest, mostly due to contagious disease. He remarked, you can imagine that a lot of genetic diversity was lost as well. Especially in the Americas, where such an intense population decrease was trailed by hundreds of years of blending by European, Amerindian, and African gatherings, the genes of present-day individuals aren't always a faithful representation of what happened in the past, Salas says. The Aconcagua Boy's genome, on the other hand, is a window to 500 years ago. Wilson, an archaeologist from the University of Bradford in the UK who studies Capacoca mummies and was not a part of the current work, remarks, "It's as if the Inca put genetic samples in deep freeze for us." Salas does not intend to squander the opportunity and is now working on the complete nuclear genome of the Aconcagua Boy, which would provide valuable details regarding his family tree and his distinct genetic makeup. He also intends to sequence the DNA of all the microbes in the mummy's gut, including his microbiome and any potential infectious germs he might have had. This would assist in understanding how microorganisms, both harmful and beneficial, have evolved over time. Wilson is hopeful that similar studies can be conducted on other Capacoca mummies. They are certainly remarkable messengers from the past. And there you have it, explorers. The intriguing story of the Aconcagua Boy. If you enjoyed this adventure into the heart of the Andes, give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. What other incredible stories should we uncover together? Subscribe for more captivating tales and explorations. As we wrap up today's journey, remember, the world is full of mysteries waiting to be unveiled. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and keep exploring the wonders that surround us.